My name's Jeff Sousa, and I'm here with our principal, Mr. Jenks. I would like to ask you, Mr. Jenks, what is NEASC?
NEASC is the New England Association of Schools and Colleges. And usually after I say that, people say, okay, so what's the New England Association of Schools and Colleges? It's actually an accreditation agency. It's a group of educators, many of them retired, but many of them still in the field, and they exist purely to go into schools throughout New England, assess a school's program, identify your strengths, make suggestions for improvement. It's a great system. There are 16 people that come on a visiting team. They'll come to DY October 20th to October 23rd, and they'll look at everything in our school. They'll leave. Later they'll issue a report, and that group says, here's great things about DY, here's areas for improvement, and here's maybe how you should tackle those problems.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what has the faculty here at DY been doing to prepare for this?
It's a long process. A visiting team comes every 10 years, but for the last 2.5 years, faculty, staff, students, parents at DY have worked on our core mission and values. They've worked on 7 different committees plus a community profile. And in a sense, they've really studied everything they can about DY. Mm-hmm. What do we do? How do we do it? Does it work? They've made recommendations in our own report called a self-study, and that goes to that visiting team. Most of those meetings on those release days, those have happened on release days, after school meetings. Those committees have really worked for about 2.5 years to get ready for this day.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned students. What role do the students here at DY play?
The students are involved in the process in multiple areas. Many students probably remember the surveys. There's an annual survey we do. We use a lot of that student feedback to look at our program and go, wow, this seems like it's really working for our students. This other part of our program, though, we need to do something differently. There were students on each of the committees. There were student representatives. Most of those students were great about serving after hours and on those release days. Other people were gone. They were here doing the study. When the visiting team comes, they will spend lots of time talking to students. You know, you might see them in your classroom. They'll observe. They'll be there in lunch, and they'll ask students questions about life at DY.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what aspect here at DY are you most looking forward to show off?
In a way, the whole school. Mm-hmm. But really, I think when people come in, we all know you can have the most modern school or the most ancient school. And while it's good to have a newer school, it's not the bricks and the mortar, it's the people. I want them to see the incredible teachers we have here working with our students. I want to see the incredible guidance program. Our student body is second to none. I'm really proud of our students. It's amazing. I get to visit other schools, and I'm always like, so good to come home. We have students who are so talented and so committed to so many different things. Yeah. I want that team to see us, the DY group.
Yeah, how we work.
Yeah.
All right, if you had to make a prediction, what concern do you think the visiting team might have about our school?
I guess my prediction would be two general areas. The first one's curriculum. Over the last 2 or 3 years, there's been a major evolution in curriculum across the United States. At the federal level, they're talking Common Core and the impact of that on local curriculum. If you look at Massachusetts, students take MCAS now. There's a new set of tests coming called PARCC, and that could be a whole show. But the PARCC testing requires some adjustments to our curriculum. And finally, internally, we want our courses to reflect more time for student thinking, student discussion. And so we know some of our curriculum needs to be revised. And I think they're going to say, yes, you need to revise that curriculum. That won't be a surprise. It's something we need to do. Secondarily, they are going to say, your advisory program, your student advisory, is it real? Does it work for students? The point of an advisory is not a homeroom where they take attendance. It's really supposed to be, the goal of that is to create a situation where every student in school has someone besides their guidance counselor that they can go to for help. And we have a crackerjack guidance department. Everybody knows that. It's been tough for us as a school to get to that second piece because we all know some people form a natural connection between their advisor and the students, and that's why they're in that advisory for the same amount of time. Other people, it's tougher. And so we need to find a way to promote those relationships and that support. Last 2 years, the majority of our students at DY have said there's people here you can go to.
Yeah.
But we're not hearing that from 100% of the students. So we know we need to work on that. And again, that was part of that Wednesday schedule. That's stressing some people, making others happy, making sure there's a long enough advisory every day, once a week, so people can talk and get to know each other.
That's really great. It really sounds like a lot of work. Is it really worth it?
Yes, I had to think, because I just wanted to put the right analogy out there. I don't think any of us ever get better at doing something, whether it's music, sports, being an artist, being a student, and mastering subject matter, without hard work. I think you always go, is it worth all the sweat and the analysis I'm putting in? Is it really worth it? And I think the answer is always yes. So it is worth it, as much as it's a stressor, and that visiting team will come and everybody will want everything to be perfect and on our best foot and say, here's all the great stuff. Please say we're great. I think the analysis has been worth it, because again, it's about growth in the end. And again, whether I'm a student, an athlete, a musician, an artist, any realm, there's always a struggle to get better, and I think it's a worthy struggle.
Yeah. So for me personally, I'm a student here at DY. What benefits do I have for this?
Hopefully, we get to showcase, here's the students at DY. Look how successful they are. Look at some of the achievements they have had. Our reports that we issue to the visiting team, and that visiting team itself will say, wow, look at how many students you have on that virtual high school program. Look at the alternative programs you have for students. Look at the success of your students on testing or their college acceptances. Look at that award-winning music program or the art program. Really, it's a way for people from the outside to recognize students and say, wow, you have great students here. They do good things. It will make our program better, because we will do things to revise the curriculum. There's issues about, we know we probably need to do some technology upgrades. I think that will directly benefit students. And that advisory, I really believe in that model. Everybody in school who has one or two significant adults succeeds. Almost anybody who's dropped out of school or not done well, when you talk to them about that experience, there wasn't that teacher who was the magnet, or that assistant principal, that guidance counselor, that teaching assistant that got them in every day. It's easy to do the right thing when life is good. For our students who struggle, we need to know that they know there's somebody in this building who's not going to judge them, that's going to help take care of them, no matter how tough their day is. And so that advisory piece, I think that will benefit students.
That's really great. That's really awesome. I want to thank you very much for coming out and answering these questions for me.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
It's been a pleasure.